much more going on. So much more. For the first time, I was able to put into words what has been going on for the past decade.
There are some celebrity deaths that feel almost impossible to process because the person seemed far too young, far too talented, and far too full of life to be gone. Hayden Panettiere was one of those people. She grew up in front of the cameras, becoming a familiar face to millions of viewers before she was even old enough to understand what fame meant. From commercials as a baby to major television roles, Hollywood films, music, and some of the most recognizable characters of the 2000s and 2010s, Panettiere built an extraordinary career at an age when most people were only beginning to discover who they were. Now, the entertainment world is mourning her sudden death at just 36 years old. Her representative confirmed the tragic news, while her family remembered her as an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to the people who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen. For fans who grew up watching Hayden Panettiere, her death is more than the loss of an actress. It feels like the end of a chapter. Many people first encountered Hayden when she was still a child, long before she became the internationally recognized star of Heroes and Nashville. She had already spent years working in entertainment by the time she became a household name. Her journey began when she was only 8 months old, when she started modeling. At 11 months, she appeared in her first commercial, advertising a play-school toy train. It was the beginning of a career that would eventually span more than 3 decades. By the age of 4, Hayden had already landed a major acting role. She played Sarah Roberts on the American soap opera One Life to Live, beginning a long relationship with television. She later became known to daytime television audiences through her role as Lizzie Spaulding on Guiding Light. These were not brief childhood appearances. Hayden was steadily building professional experience while growing up in an industry that can be incredibly demanding even for adults. As a young actress, she also moved into film and voice acting. She provided the voice of in Pixar's A Bug's Life and appeared in Remember the Titans when she was just 10 years old. In that beloved football film, she played the daughter of Denzel Washington's character's coach. Her performance in Remember the Titans earned her a Young Artist Award, while her work connected to A Bug's Life earned Grammy recognition. By the time she reached her teenage years, Hayden had already spent more than a decade working professionally. That fact alone tells us something about the extraordinary childhood she experienced. While other children were going to school, making friends, and discovering hobbies, Hayden was learning lines, attending auditions, filming commercials, and working on television and movie sets. She was growing up in front of an audience. And eventually, the world would see her transform from child star into one of television's most recognizable young actresses. Her breakthrough came with Heroes, the NBC superhero drama that premiered in 2006. Hayden played Claire Bennet, a cheerleader with a remarkable ability to regenerate from injuries. The character quickly became one of the defining figures of the series, and Hayden's performance helped make her an international star. Claire's famous story of being a seemingly ordinary teenager who discovers extraordinary abilities became one of the most memorable television arcs of the era. Hayden was only 17 when Heroes began, yet she was suddenly carrying a major television series and becoming one of the most recognizable young faces in Hollywood. Fans connected with Claire because she was vulnerable, determined, and complicated. She wasn't simply a superhero. She was a teenager trying to understand her identity while dealing with a world that had suddenly become much bigger and more dangerous. The success of Heroes changed Hayden's career. She was no longer simply a former child actor. She was now a leading young star with a growing international following. But her career continued to evolve. In 2012, she took on another role that would become central to her legacy, Juliet Barnes on Nashville. The musical drama gave Hayden an opportunity to combine acting with singing and allowed audiences to see another side of her abilities. Juliet was a complicated character. She was ambitious, talented, emotionally vulnerable, and sometimes difficult. Through the character, Hayden explored themes of fame, relationships, insecurity, and personal struggle. Her performance earned her 2 Golden Globe nominations, further establishing her as a serious dramatic performer. Nashville also allowed Hayden's musical abilities to become part of the story. Her character's songs became associated with the series, giving fans another reason to connect with her work.